you like to drive around and talk about the latest happenings, this is the channel you need. So subscribe and follow Carmentary.
It's time for another episode of Carmentary, English version. Just recorded one in Japanese, so I think I'll switch up the language, try this in English, do some similar topics, maybe talk about some other stuff as well. It's been a while since I was able to do a Carmentary episode. Maybe a month and a half, even 2 months. I don't know. It's been a while. The fall, actually, the summer was ridiculously busy. The fall, for me personally, was incredibly busy. And winter, well, I think winter might actually settle down a little bit. This was a crazy year. I had so much work, so many different projects right away from the spring. And I was able to do these Carmentary episodes for a while, and then things just got way too hectic. And I was like, man, I can't even get the footage from the camera into the computer, no less trying to edit and upload to YouTube. It was like, forget it. So I just sort of gave up. Did that for a while, and now I am ready to get back into it. I'm so excited. I love the YouTube thing and doing this whole YouTube channel more than anything else. I cannot wait for the day that I can make some new business cards and just put Neil Hartmann, YouTuber. That is like the dream. I'm not quite there yet. I really don't make any money out of YouTube, but it's such an important thing for me personally. Hold on, I gotta pass a truck here. He wants me to pass. Wow, that was kind of interesting. Like I said, I love doing this YouTube stuff. It makes me very happy, and I really want to get back into it. But let me go back a bit and explain why I was so busy. So, 3 days ago, on November the 10th, the 10th edition of my Danchi DVD series was released here in Japan on DVD. The 10th one, it took me 14 years. We started in about 2004. The first one was released in 2005. It's now 2018, so I took a few years off there. It took 14 years to make 10. Very happy that I was able to get to number 10. It was 3 years in the making. I had only planned to take 1 year off before making number 10. And then, as the saying goes, shit happens. And suddenly it was 2 years. And then it was 3 years. And I realized at the end of summer I was super busy, had so many projects going on, but you know, I knew I had enough footage, and I knew I could make an interesting, fun, free ride, freestyle, unique kind of snowboard movie, snow life movie. The problem was, you know, was I physically and mentally able or up to the task? And the task being an intensive period of editing, followed by, you know, a lot of logistics, phone calls, meetings, you know, getting the music for the soundtrack, the titles and the text, organizing events, just dealing with all different people's egos and problems and whatever you have to do to kind of get people on the program. And, you know, it's a massive undertaking, even though it's like a tiny little video that's DVD, and you know, it's nothing compared to like a Hollywood movie or a documentary or even like an independently produced feature film. It's nothing like that. It's just me. But in a way, that's actually the problem, because it's just me. You know, I have no one helping me. I do everything, from pick the music to call the artist and ask them to let me use it, to the titling, to the color correction, to the soundtrack, to you know, like I said, everything. There's nothing in there that I'm not involved in. So, and it had been 3 years since I'd done one, so I was kind of out of the rhythm. And when you're out of the rhythm, you know, you forget things and how things worked. So I was like, am I really ready for this? But I knew if I didn't make one this year, that would be the end, man. I don't think I could ever come back and do another one. I might start something totally new, you know, or just continue with the YouTube videos, but I figured if I didn't make a Danchi now, it was not going to happen. So footage together, got the hard drives. I took them everywhere I went. When I was down in Nagoya for a few days, I locked myself up in the hotel room there. I specifically went down like 3 days early for this job and just sat in the hotel room and just crushed on the editing, and came back from that and felt really confident that I had, you know, like an hour movie. I just needed to fine-tune it a lot, and then spent the next couple weeks fine-tuning it. And as I said, the text and the soundtrack and all this stuff made my deadline. Maybe missed it by actually 2 days, but it was okay. Sent off the master, did it. I had then 3 premieres lined up in Hokkaido, Tokachi, Asahikawa, and Sapporo. The biggest one being Sapporo. We had about 300 people. And the very next day I left on October the 29th to go to Europe for a week-long job I had over there. So it was a heavy process to get it all done, and a bit stressful, but somehow made it through. And although, you know, whenever you finish a movie and a project, you know, I'm sure anyone can relate to this. If you've made, it doesn't have to be a video project, you know, anything, a piece of art, or, you know, you made a store or whatever, you know, you finish and you put it out there, and then right away you're like, well, I wish I could have done this, you know. There's so many little things that I feel like if I had another week or another 10 days or whatever, I could have made it better. But I don't think there's any way to avoid that. And I think it's important to just get it out there and, you know, let it do its thing. And, you know, no one's even probably going to notice those little things I don't like, but you just got to learn and live from that and take that into the next project. So I'm very happy with the movie, though. I hope you have a chance to, if you're in Japan, to pick up a DVD copy somewhere. I'd be appreciative of that. And I am planning to put Carmentary 10 and the entire Carmentary catalog from 1 through 10 onto Vimeo, or Vimeo, as they say around the world, as a pay-per-view video series. I've already got the page up there ready. I just need to upload the movies and fill out all the details, and then it will start. So that's mainly aimed at the international audience, and that's probably who's watching this in English anyway. It's very hard for people to get copies of the DVD. It's very hard for me to send them, or to have a system to get money and then send them. It's always been tricky, and the world has changed in the last 14 years. Now everything's, you know, on YouTube or Vimeo. I decided to go with Vimeo because they have the pay-per-view system set up very easy, and you know, I think that's a good way to go. I'm going to set it so you can actually download and, you know, buy the movies, download them, keep them on your hard drive, or rent them if you want. And I think that'll be a fun way to distribute it globally. So stay tuned for that. I'll be announcing it soon. So that's Carmentary 10. I hope you enjoy it, and I think it's, you know, it's definitely on a global scale compared to other snowboard or ski movies out there. I think it's still very unique and different from everything that you find out there. It's not about tricks or technique, or, you know, I have no care or interest in the professional snowboarding world. There's no contest stuff in there. I have a lot of respect for that, and I enjoy watching that stuff myself, but it's nothing that I feel I can contribute to visually. So I hope to be able to continue on into the next, I don't know, I figure another 10 years or so, you know, continuing this whole Carmentary thing, the theme of traveling with your friends, groups of people, to go to mountains, snowboard, ski, whatever you want to do. We don't care anymore. You know, you can just go snowshoe. It's just being out in the winter in the snow, loving nature, and playing with it, you know, playing with the snow and enjoying the gravity. And I hope that I can continue to package that in like a movie form and showcase that. So, you know, no sponsors from here on out. I've pretty much claimed that. I'm not going to take any sponsorship money for these videos, you know, so they can remain completely independent. And we'll just see what we can do. Keep doing. It's going to be based forever wherever I am, which probably is going to be Hokkaido in the winter. But hopefully we'll get some other, you know, for this Danchi 10, I traveled quite a bit to other spots in Japan and even Switzerland. And I'm looking forward to doing more of that, maybe one overseas trip at least a year, and more interesting and unique zones and areas around Japan that, because it becomes kind of a Bible of, you know, backcountry and resort riding for Japan, and inspiration for your own travels. So I hope we can continue that theme on into the next 10 years. I'm 46 right now. I'm going to be 47 real soon. So that takes me to about, if I can keep this one a year pace, or maybe miss a year here or there, I can get to number 20 when I'm 60. That'll be interesting. There's not a lot of, I don't know, who's the oldest snow movie creator out there? I don't know right now. See, everybody kind of gives up and goes into other things after a while. But I figure, you know, if you do it at your own pace and don't worry about filming the latest, youngest, most amazing athletes, and you just sort of do what you want to do, you can probably keep doing this for a while. So that's my thoughts. Hope you enjoyed it. That was a nice episode of Carmentary, about 12 minutes long. I'm going to cut it off here. I'll try to do these more regularly, and I'm promising that as soon as the snow starts falling, which should be soon, I'm going to kick the YouTube channel back into high gear. I really feel the need to get back into the daily or almost daily video vlogs. I'm thinking every other day, to be realistic. And then a few of these Carmentary episodes, maybe some kind of I really have been listening to a lot of these kind of podcast things like Joe Rogan and these guys. Is really fascinating the way they have guests and talk, and I'd really like to do something like that. And of course Neil's Gear Room, where I introduce all the gear in my studio. So I'm gonna do my absolute best to crush on the YouTube channel, and hope you enjoy that. Instagram, of course, as well. Facebook, kind of fading out on that. I just retweet everything I do on Instagram on Facebook now. Try not to spend too much time on there, but definitely Instagram and the stories and YouTube. That's where I'm going to be for the next 6 months, at least this next season. So I hope you enjoy that. Make sure to subscribe. I appreciate it when the numbers go up. Thank you, guys, girls. Although, judging by my analytics, there are almost no ladies watching my YouTube channel. Oh, it's so sad. Okay, we'll be back again. See ya. Have a nice drive.
This is the channel you need, so subscribe and follow Carmentary.